AI agents are getting cheaper per token and somehow more expensive to run. That sounds contradictory until you look at what happens after the first prompt. An agent repeats instructions, reloads tools, carries old conversation history, retrieves documents, retries failures, and sometimes waits by asking again. The model may be efficient while the surrounding loop quietly burns the budget. Writer calls this token maxing. It is buying more capability by spending more tokens, even when the value per token is falling. On Thursday, Writer launched Palmyra X6 and an upgraded model-agnostic agent harness for its customers. The company says the combined system can cut costs for basic tasks by as much as 50%. I cannot independently test the enterprise product, so this is a documentation-first quiet review based on Writer's paper and TechCrunch's reporting. My early verdict is worth studying, not because Palmyra X6 won a benchmark, but because the research points at a boring layer most solo builders ignore. The orchestration code that decides what the model sees, which tools it gets, when it retries, and when it stops. Ultimately, we are going to see that the model is not the whole bill. The system around it is where the efficiency lives. Writer's July paper ran a controlled swap across 22 locked enterprise tasks and 6 foundation models. The tasks, models, judges, and price tables stayed fixed. Only the orchestration layer changed. A conventional production agent loop versus the Writer agent harness. The results were unusually clean. The paper reports blended cost per task falling 41%, from 21 cents to 12 cents. Median wall clock time fell 44%, from 48 seconds to 27. Tokens per task fell 38%, from 14.2 thousand to 8.8 thousand. Headline task completion moved from 0.78 to 0.81, which the authors describe as parity at this sample size. Every tested model became cheaper, with per-model cost reductions ranging from 33 to 61%. Quality per dollar rose 82%. Keep the label attached. This is research authored by Writer about Writer. It is evidence, not a universal law. 7 capability cells regressed, all on smaller models, especially in tool use. Stronger models extracted more quality from the structure. Weaker ones could be overwhelmed by it. The practical lesson is not to buy Writer immediately. It is to audit the loop you already have. Start with one repeated agent task, such as researching 3 competitors and drafting a sourced memo. Record total input tokens, output tokens, turns, retries, wall clock time, and completed task quality. Then inspect 6 places where waste hides. First, keep the stable system prompt and tool definitions byte stable. Ensure your instructions don't change unnecessarily, so provider caching can actually work. Second, compact older history into durable checkpoints instead of replaying the full transcript every turn. Third, keep large tool outputs in retrieval storage and return only the evidence needed for the next decision. Fourth, expose tools progressively instead of sending every single schema on every turn. Fifth, wait on real events rather than polling the model to ask whether work is finished. Sixth, give failures a budget. Cap retries, preserve recoverable state, and stop branches that are no longer buying quality. Run the same task again with the same model. If cost falls while quality holds, the harness was the problem. If quality collapses, you removed context the work actually needed. Measurement matters more than slogans. Palmyra X6 is the second part of the launch. TechCrunch reports Writer built it as a post-training variation of GLM 5.2. It is positioned for complex, multi-step work while using significantly fewer tokens than base models. Writer customers can use it beside other Writer models or outside models brought through Azure and Amazon Bedrock. That model-agnostic design is important. A useful harness should improve the bill even when you change vendors. Writer's paper argues that changing orchestration saved more than moving from the most expensive model to the cheapest. Writer's paper argues that changing orchestration saved more than moving from the most expensive model to the cheapest. For a solo operator, that reframes model shopping. Before comparing leaderboard decimals, ask about your agent's waste. The cheaper model cannot rescue a wasteful loop. The most capable model cannot make unnecessary context valuable. The system is not magic. Writer's own results show orchestration features have a capability floor. Small models may fail when the harness asks them to coordinate tools or delegated work they cannot manage. It turns out that structure alone cannot save a model that lacks the logic to handle the orchestration itself. My verdict on Writer's launch is cautiously positive. Worth it if you already run repetitive agents at volume. Wait if your agent usage is small or impossible to score. Optimization without a stable task is theater with invoices. Skip the platform if all you need is the principle. You can still stabilize prompts and narrow tools in your stack. The durable signal here is that the model is only one employee in the room. The harness is the operations manager. The manager decides who receives the whole binder, who gets one page, when a specialist is called, and when to stop. Introverts already understand the value of fewer interruptions. Apply that instinct to your agent loops. Give them enough context to finish the work, not every piece of context you have ever collected. The quietest bill is the best. Fix the harness. I'm the beacon for @AI for Introverts. See you in the next review.